Hi and welcome back to Finders Beepers History Seekers. It's getting so close to Christmas. I've got the mince pies on the go. I'm drinking Baileys straight out of the bottle. You know it's Christmas when you're drinking. Like normally I'd be drinking it out of a shoe, but I'm now drinking it out of the bottle, so that's all good. What is going on? But we are back on the abandoned house reviews. Now, like I mentioned in the last video, and you might have missed it, there's not been any explores for the last, well, wasn't one last week, and there's probably not going to be one this week. My car has gone kaput. I'm taking the opportunity for now to chill out over Christmas, just doing these sorts of videos for you. I've got some top 5 videos coming up as well. That doesn't mean that the explores have gone. It just means until I get my car sorted or some other way of getting out exploring, then this is what you've got. But it's Christmas, man. We don't want to be out in the cold and stuff when we've got the opportunity to just like stay in the warm and make these sorts of videos in this beautiful thing that I swear hasn't even been washed yet, and I've had it for weeks and it probably stinks of sweat, but I don't care. Also, there appears to be a police helicopter buzzing round outside. I'm not quite sure why, so if you can hear a helicopter, that is why. So, this is Poveglia Island, which is, people seem to class as one of the top 5 places you just can't go. And I've been, and I love the fact that I have. It always comes up on TikTok and stuff, Poveglia Island, and they put it up there with like North Sentinel Island. Not quite the same. I'm not going to get a spear through my head. But people also don't know what the risks are of going there. Now, you may think it's just a simple island, and so what of its history, it doesn't really matter. But the police there think very much differently, and the authorities. So, we have been told it's up to a €25,000 fine for being caught on the island, and up to 3 years in Italian prison, which I didn't really want to happen. And it was the boat, guys on the boat were just as scared. So it wasn't just us that were scared, because they would have got in big trouble as well. And that's why we had so much trouble trying to find a boat, and we paid a lot. I think it was, now bearing in mind it's a couple of years ago now, maybe 3 years ago, because it was in the middle of COVID, I think. Yeah, it was. So we're talking 2021-ish, maybe, 2020, 2021. And we got charged €250 for the boat trip across. Now, bearing in mind, it's probably about a mile. It's not very far at all. And the boatman just didn't want to hang round. But that feeling of being on the boat and heading towards the island and then seeing it in the distance, crazy.
Right, so we've managed to get ourselves on a boat, and it wasn't cheap, and we may not.
It's worth it.
He's just said if we get there and the police there, he might just have to bring us straight back. So it's all about luck now, and it's an expensive lucky chance, isn't it, really?
Yeah, because he's going to drop us off if he can. We've got to ring him.
Yeah.
To come back. But it's €250.
Yeah, which isn't cheap.
It's not cheap, but it's something that we'll never ever do again.
Yeah. The relief to get on this boat. We've been walking for such a long time, so I'm praying that we manage to get over there. This is one of the main explores we came for, so if we don't get on, it's going to be a massive letdown. but we are finders keepers. We don't usually give up very easily. See you in a minute.
So we get to the island and we jump off the boat and he legs it. And the boatman said, if he comes back, because I think we'd got 3 hours. We tried to get 5 and he was like, no, I'm not doing it. You can have 3 hours. If you're not here, then I'm going and I'm leaving you. And if the police are there when I get there, I'm also leaving you. This has nothing to do with me. He was petrified. He was absolutely petrified, which made us even more scared. But when we got on the island, things just changed. It just was different. And I can't really put it into words. But I'm gonna have to, otherwise it'd be a bit of a crap video if I'm not actually telling you. I'm just going, can't put it into words. Anyway, move on. So, basically, the island is split into 2. There's the bit where there's the old asylum, which is in debate as well. A lot of people say, oh no, it was just used for the hospitalisation. No, it was an asylum. I've got the history. I've read it online in multiple places. So whoever said that is wrong. The asylum and what was the old treatment centres as well, the church and things like that, were on one island. And then the other island was just plain blank. And the reason for that was the burning grounds where they burnt all the bodies. And the 2 islands were so different. Like, I felt tense and uncomfortable and oppressed, and the bells were tolling from God knows where, because it wasn't the tower that we were next to, but there was bells coming from somewhere. There was noises, whispers, creaks, groans, moans, everything you would expect in a creepy sort of asylum type place. The second we went over that bridge, I just felt calm, relaxed, chilled out. I could have stayed on that side of the island for the rest of the trip. I was so chilled. I just felt so comfortable. It was so weird. It was like very serene. But yeah, I don't think a lot of people, I don't know if it came across like that in the video, but even if you ask Andy, he will say exactly the same. It was just 2 different islands.
Where's that coming from? I don't know. The bell tolling. That's quite spooky, that, isn't it? I don't know if you can hear it. Listen. That's freaked me out a little bit. Like, it's like an omen, isn't it? You're entering the island of death.
Now, moving on to the bell tolling, the bell dinging. Dinging? What sort of word is dinging? Ding, ding. But it really did shake us up a little bit because, like I said, we were on edge. We were feeling it on the island. We were feeling like worried for getting caught, but also it was creepy. It was a very creepy place. and got all the... I don't feel like we filmed enough stuff while we were there, but it's because we got a limited amount of time. We got that 3 hours to be back at the front as well. And Andy was very aware of this. Like, he was on it. He was not going to get left on the island. Me being me, I was like, oh, I'll be fine, we'll be all right. But, like, we missed out, like, the creepers. There were, like, roots or creepers or something growing up the sides of, like, the buildings and the stairs. And it just were... It really was just out of a proper horror film. It was freaky, like so strange. Then the bells started. Boom. No, they didn't boom either, did they? Ding, ding, ding. But it was weird because we knew there was no bell. The bell had been taken out of there years previously. The bell tower was decommissioned, really. But it was really strong, loud. You can hear it in the video. I don't know whether it was coming from across the water or if it was just the ghostly bells. God knows. But it was weird.
Oh, wow, Andy. Look at this. It's crematorium, I'm telling you now. That's to burn people.
That's not to burn people, is it? With hot thing. It's not going to get hot enough.
But how do you know there's not gas pumped in there and then it just fires up? Why would it seal like that? Such a big item and so many of them.
No idea.
It's got to be for me, I think it is. Everybody tell me whether I'm right or wrong in the comments, because I want to know.
Now, making our way round the creepy side, we came across something that caused argument between us. Not argument, discussion. We were discussing it. And a lot of people have been the same in the comments. A lot of people have said that they were for washing. These big round things were for washing, called an autoclave. Now, I have looked these up online and they do look very, very similar. I'll not deny it. They had weird shelf things that slotted in that you could very much imagine a body being slid into, pushed into. So the speculation was there, because I'd seen stuff online that it could possibly be where they burn the bodies later on, rather than taking them onto the island and doing it there. But we had two sides, and I googled it. I googled like incinerators for bodies, and one that I found on there, I don't know whether I'm about to find it again, came up that looked almost exactly the same. So I don't know. I can't say that that's what it was, and I can't say that it wasn't. I'm still unsure. Probably was just to wash the clothes. You've got to think about the amount of people that are on there, but it might not have been. So I'll let you decide with that one. The jury's still out for me on that.
So I've just come down just to check, see if they were pomegranates. What? I don't want one on floor. Exactly, because it's on floor. I want one I can eat.
But I can't be doing your fat.
It's such a mess about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, let's crack it open anyway. We've got something to eat to sort us out. I'm so hot. I can't take my hoodie off because I've got nowhere to put it. Bitter. Oh, you got seeds.
Very bitter.
Oh, have you eaten the white stuff though? That's the bitter bit. I'm still having a go. I don't know what you're on about. That was so nice. I needed that moisture. You know what we've not done? Not brought any liquid or drinks or anything.
So next, we have Pomegranate Gate. Bloody hell, this pomegranate caused more trouble than anything. First of all, what I want to say is, has Andy never eaten a pomegranate before? What is wrong with him? He bit into it. Now, anyone that's had a pomegranate will know the white stuff between the seeds is vile. It is most bitter. It almost like makes your tongue go dry. It is awful, awful, disgusting. But pomegranate juice and the seeds and stuff are really nice. But Andy was like, this is disgusting. And we picked it off a tree on Death Island, on the one where they burnt all the bodies, the burning grounds. And the amount of stick that we got for that was crazy. the amount of people that were like, you can't pick the fruit from the dead island and eat it. You're eating people's bodies. And I was just thinking, like, think about all the places across the world, all the soil and dirt that's built up over thousands of years is mainly made of dead bodies, dust that comes from, like, skin cells, shit, and all sorts of stuff. So, preaching to me about some pomegranates that might have come out of Giuseppe's stomach. He ate some pomegranate seeds before he died and then that grew. I don't care. I honestly do not care. It tasted beautiful. And to be fair, I would have eaten it directly out of his stomach if he'd been laid there with it wide open. I wouldn't have cared if it tasted that good. Do not give a crap. But no, they were good, and I think people get too touchy about stuff. What about all the crops that, like potatoes and things like that, that they muck spread? They've just put shit all over the fields, and you eat it. Have you not thought about these things? I think some people just don't think. Like, they don't think about what helps their food grow. And I'd much rather Giuseppe's insides than pesticides. So, I don't know. Some people are weird.
Right, about to send the drone up.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
How far up that
How
is?
far, even if you can pick it out.
Probably won't. Let me have a look. I can't pick it out. Where is it? Oh, it's just above. It's there.
Yeah.
So if you now focus it in, just see it there, look, white dot.
Aye. How high is it? Does it say on there?
It is 120 metres
So that's
high.
probably 3 times that, 3.3. So you're talking about 400 feet, something like that. That's pretty high, isn't it? It's on the move. It's quite peaceful around here, though, isn't it?
It's lovely. So nice.
So nice. This concentration face.
Now the drone footage. The drone was the big, massive, huge drone. I can't remember what it was called now. It was a DJI. I want to say Phoenix, but it's not a Phoenix. Can't remember. The big ones with the big bits that go underneath. I loved that drone footage. I got it going across. I'll give a bit of a secret. There's when the boat comes towards you, it's supposed to be the boat that we were on. It wasn't. It was some other random boat. We weren't on it at all. But I got such a good shot above that boat. I was so pleased with how it came out. The only downside is we were on the far island, on Death Island. And as we were flying the drone towards it, because it was an old drone, it kept going out of range. And I wanted to go round the bell tower and everything. And I couldn't, and I was gutted. And Andy's going, come on, we need to go. He's going to be coming in like 2 hours, 45 minutes. Or like being there 10 minutes. But no, he were right. We did need to move. But I just wanted to get more and more and more drone footage. But I was really happy with how it came out. I was happy with the video in general because it started off in Venice and the boat journey across. And I think if we just started when we got on the island, it wouldn't have been as good as it was. I did love that video. I think it's probably my favourite video I've ever done with Andy. I don't even really mean the end result. I just mean the day itself. And the music that I put on going across on the boat beforehand will always remind me of that day. And I genuinely get a well up a little bit when I hear it because it brings back all the memories and the emotions, and it was so good. It was so good because we never expected to be able to get on that island. We gave up hope at one point, and then we just saw some more boats and we thought, let's go and try. And we did it, and I'm so pleased with us because there's not many people being on that island.
That bridge just looks proper ropes.
But no runs going this way, I bet it's just that.
Maybe.
I've walked out and I've walked to get to it.
I'm getting over there, whether it means swimming or not. I'm going over.
See you in a bit.
I didn't say you had to.
Never said I was.
It's not very far, have I? It's beautiful. I could stay here for ages. Anyway, let's get over to the burning grounds over there.
Is that where the burning grounds are?
Yeah, you know that on that tree? It's pomegranates. You see them?
Yeah.
I've never seen a pomegranate tree before in my life.
There you go. First thing for everything, isn't there? First time for everything.
Yeah. Right. This bridge is not just ropes. It's massively ropes.
Oh, it's metal.
Oh, it's got... Oh, a little lizard.
Yeah.
There's a few of them, look. Legging it down there. This ain't going to be easy.
It's dodgy, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, I'll film you going over. And then...
I'm going over.
What do you mean? We've got to go. Look, there's loads of lizards. There's loads of them. Am I going first then? He says he's not going, and then he sets off before me. There's loads. Look at him. That's so cool. Oh, wow. Thing is, if we fall in, it's only a little bit of water, innit? Let's be right.
Now, this was another one of our videos that went worldwide. Now, all of our videos are pretty much worldwide these days, but this video went to people that wouldn't normally watch our video. I think it's on about 105,000 views or something like that. And we were getting an influx of all different languages on the comments as well, which I think is brilliant. But some people didn't believe we'd been on the island. They reckoned that we'd filmed it somewhere else. I don't know how was it all AI generated or what? Some people were saying, "Oh, it's not like it's not the sort of place that you're not allowed to go to," and it definitely was. It's definitely somewhere you're not supposed to go to. But I think the majority of people were just shocked that 80% of the second island, Death Island, and this is why it's called Death Island, 80% of the land mass there is made from human ash and human bone and dead bodies. And I just think that's crazy. Like, I've been in the Paris catacombs, I've walked over bones. You can't avoid it. They're like 6 foot deep in bones down there. But you can see the bones, and you can see how it's all crushed up and stuff. There, it's just grass, and it's very hard to believe it's anything other than just land. But if you think of how the island is, it will have started off with one island, and then they've dumped it, they've burnt it, and dumped it, and burnt it, and it's built up and up and up. And that's where the second islands come from. So strange, so weird. What a freaky place. And finally, the asylum itself. So the asylum building was like I said, it was pretty wrecked. Like, there was nothing inside. We went up to some of the upstairs floors and they felt very dodgy. Very, very dodgy. But to know what had happened in there, to start off with, people being put on there for, like, well, they were put on the island for the Black Death, so the bubonic plague. But those buildings won't have been there when that happened, because this was way back, like way, way back. But these newer buildings that got put on there, that then changed. It wasn't just people with like bubonic plague, because that died out. It was people with any sort of infectious diseases, people with like TB, tuberculosis. Why can I say it? Tuberculosis were put on there. People with mental health problems, so people that would go into an asylum, people with Down syndrome, lots and lots of different sorts of people that really shouldn't have been there, and they were left out of the way. Obviously, as usual, terrible things happened. There was all sorts of experiments on brains while people were still alive, like electric shock treatment and all sorts of things, like cutting the top of the brain open, taking things out, seeing how it affected people and stuff like that. Awful, awful things. But then karma hit, because the guy that was in charge of the place started to hear voices. He could hear the voices of the people that he'd committed all these atrocities on, like screaming in his head. One day, he took himself up to the top of the bell tower and he threw himself off, because he'd gone insane from being round all these people all day long, which is mad karma, like crazy karma. But this place, there is so much. I can't get it out in a video and make it punchy. Like, I could talk about different subjects to do with this island for days. Literally, there's so much stuff. Research it. Go on, search up Poveglia. Don't just go on YouTube, because you'll get the same stuff churned out over and over, I suppose, like I'm doing now. But the same stuff. But if you go on, like, Google and search it, you will find so much history on this place, and it is so, so good. So make sure you do that. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, one of my favourite places out of all of the places we've been. We did get picked up. We did get brought back, hence why I'm here. But it was just such a standout trip. It really, really was. And I want to find somewhere else like that. I've got somewhere in mind, but nobody will go with me, because it's really naughty. But maybe one day. Anyway, love you all. I'll see you soon.